Have you ever noticed there's an invisible pattern among people who achieve great things? It's not just about hard work or luck. There's something more subtle, more powerful, working behind the scenes. And that something is the ability to tune into what you want before there's any physical proof it's possible. Most people make the mistake of waiting for evidence to believe. But that's not how the universe works. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you're ready to receive. And readiness, in this case, doesn't come from having everything figured out on the outside. It comes from being aligned on the inside. It's about thinking, feeling, acting, and moving as if what you want is already real. This isn't about pretending, it's about embodying, living mentally and emotionally in the reality you want to manifest. That's the frequency you need to reach. That's the tuning. Everything begins with a decision, but not just any decision, a real, firm, non-negotiable decision. Deciding means cutting off alternatives. It's declaring to the universe, and more importantly to yourself, that this will happen. When you make a true decision, your posture changes, your language shifts, your focus sharpens, your actions align, and that decision must come with clarity. Absolute clarity about what you want. Don't generalize. Don't say, I want more money. Say, I want to increase my income by 50% in the next 12 months. Don't say, I want a better life. Say, I want to work remotely, earning at least X dollars per month with flexible hours and more time for my family. The more specific, the more powerful. Because the mind works with images, not vague words. If you don't have a clear image, your energy scatters, and you either attract nothing or more of what you don't want. Now here's the part that sabotages 90% of people: subconscious programming. You can have the strongest desire in the world, but if your mind is programmed for lack, insecurity, or self-sabotage, you'll create resistance. You'll freeze, and you'll justify it with things like maybe it wasn't meant to be, or it's just not the right time. But the truth is, you've been conditioned from a young age to think in ways that don't support your goals. And that conditioning runs deep, operating on autopilot. The only way to change it is to reprogram. How? Through repetition and emotion. That means using daily affirmations that reflect who you're becoming, not to convince yourself, but to build a new identity. Repeating powerful statements while feeling what they mean rewires your subconscious. And the more emotion you bring, the faster it happens. Visualization is another foundational pillar, but it's not about imagining something pretty. It's about mentally living it with all your senses. If you want a new car, close your eyes and see the steering wheel, feel the seat, hear the engine, smell the interior. Do this daily, because the brain doesn't distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's real. It starts to believe, and when that happens, your behavior changes. You begin to move differently, make different decisions, approach life in a new way. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to your frequency. And visualization tunes your frequency with powerful precision. That's why it works. And here comes one of the most overlooked points: vibration. Everything in the universe vibrates, including you. And that vibration is determined by your dominant emotional state. If you're vibrating fear, anxiety, or doubt, even if you want something good, what you attract is chaos. Because the universe responds to your inner state, and you can't fake that vibration. You can post positive quotes, talk big to your friends, but if inside you're filled with scarcity and fear, that's exactly what you'll attract. The solution? Emotional self-regulation. That starts with gratitude. Gratitude isn't cliché, it's energetic technology. When you're grateful, you shift your vibration instantly. And here's the secret. Being grateful for something that hasn't happened yet is a signal of faith. It's you saying, I already know this is mine. That posture is magnetic. It speeds things up. Perception also shapes your reality. How you interpret events defines your next move. People who are tuned into their goals see challenges as tests, not failures. They train their minds to ask, what is this trying to teach me? Or how is this helping me grow? That kind of thinking opens up solutions where there used to be confusion. It expands your awareness. It reveals hidden opportunities. Every shift in perception raises your level of consciousness. And the higher your consciousness, the greater your ability to manifest. Not because the world changed, but because you changed the way you see it. And that changes everything. But none of this matters if you don't act. The universe rewards movement, not frantic, unconscious movement, but intentional, aligned action. You need to act as if what you want is already real. Speak like someone who has already made it. Think like someone who's already living it. Make decisions based on your future, not your past. And that takes courage. Acting without having all the answers, investing before all the guarantees, starting before you feel ready. That's real faith in motion. And every step you take in that energy creates a ripple effect. The path reveals itself as you walk. The right people show up. Resources appear. Ideas flow. Because you left the passive state and stepped into the magnetic field of creation. Everything you want already exists. It's just not on your current frequency. Your job is to adjust that frequency. And that requires decision, clarity, subconscious, reprogramming, consistent visualization, emotional alignment, conscious perception, and inspired action. That's the formula. There's nothing mystical about it. This is mind science applied with discipline, and the results are inevitable. When you become, internally, what you desire, the external world must follow. There's no other option. The reality you're living today is a direct reflection of your inner state. So if you want to change the outer world, start with the inner one. Tune in, align, become. Because what you want isn't far away. It's just vibrating at a different level. And the good news, you control the dial.